What's up, everyone? Sean Count Blaggerth here today doing Vinyl Collection Part 4, I think. You'll see it in the title. It's 5 in the morning right now. Nobody is sleeping in my house. Can't sleep, whatever. So I figured I would knock out a vinyl collection video. Before I get started, what we're listening to in the background is The Scars of Man on the Once Nameless Wilderness Part 2 by Panopticon. This is the folky sort of record. So that's what we're listening to in the background. Thank you to Marty over at Binderoon for giving me permission to play this. Now, let's get started right in. It's a shame I don't own the early material from this band. I only own the album before this one on CD, and it's a real shit press. So I need to get on my shit and step my game up and pick up the first 4 on vinyl at some point when I got the cash. But start with an era that you either love or hate, but I love it. Bathory with Hammerheart. I know it's wrong that I don't have self-titled or The Return or Twilight. Was it Twilight of the Gods? Yeah. Or not Twilight of the Gods. What the fuck? Bloodfire Death or Under the Sign of the Black Mark. I know. Whatever, fight me. But yeah, love this album. Hammerheart's a great record. This is the only thing I would ever use the term Viking metal to describe because it's super unique. It doesn't really have any black metal traces. It doesn't have anything that really screams folk metal or anything like that, but it's just a solid record. Korthon was not a talented, clean vocalist, but it just worked really well. So, love this album. Honestly, I do. One Road to Azov Bay, of course. Valhalla, Baptized in Fire and Ice. Another one of my favorites. This is a 2 LP just on black vinyl. This is a Black Mark reissue from the late 2000s. And it comes with a little lyric sheet. I know a lot of these Bathory vinyl reissues are super hit or miss in terms of quality, and I gotta say the ones that I own sound really good, especially compared to the digital ones I got when I was like 14 and discovered Bathory and started downloading. These sound phenomenal compared to those. So there's Hammerheart, love Hammerheart, followed by my favorite of this era of Bathory. And before you ask what my favorite Bathory record, period, is, hands down The Return. But this is probably my second favorite album from Bathory, Twilight of the Gods. This album is so huge, it's unbelievable. Just the opening of the prologue, Twilight of the Gods epilogue, Blood and Iron is definitely my favorite song off this. Under the Runes, To Enter Your Mountain. Just every song on this is so good. Cannot recommend it enough. Continuing along the same style of Hammerheart. Once again, 2 LP set, black vinyl, nothing special, and it just comes with this little lyric sheet. Great album, great press, sounds really good, have no gripes with it. So if you see it, snag yourself a copy, get this in your collection. And the last thing I have from Bathory, I don't have any of the thrash albums because honestly they're fucking awful. Bathory Nordland 1 and 2. Love the Nordland series. Winterblot, Dragon's Breath, Ring of Gold is probably my favorite song from both albums. Seawolf, Vinland, The Land, so many great songs on this fucking album. Gatefold, it's great that they compiled both of them together onto a 2 LP set. Standard weight vinyl, but on a very nice blue vinyl. Love this record. I play it a lot in the spring, and since it's starting to get a little nicer out, I'm gonna probably throw this on. So get yourself this if you don't own it already. Alright, so we're moving on. I just skipped a massive, pretty good sized part of my collection, 5 records, but that's because it's part of a box set. And I'll show the box sets completely separate from my main collection. So, we're moving on to Bellwitch. And this is the only record I have physically from them, unfortunately, but I love this one. This is Longing, the debut full-length from Bellwitch. Everybody knows them at this point, so I'm not going to talk too much about them. This album feels like not too many people have checked out. Everyone's just shitting themselves over Mirror Reaper, which is a shame because personally, I hold Mirror Reaper in high regard, but I've had more years with this record, so I hold a special place for this record. Double LP, printed inner sleeves, bass and drum vocals only, Funeral Doom, no guitar being used, but it sounds like a guitar. Super well written songs, very creepy, gets under your skin. This is an album that I gotta be in the right mood for, but if you're looking for something that has a very ominous vibe, give this a listen. Bellwitch with Longing. Moving on to the complete opposite end of the spectrum in terms of metal. Here we go with Bestial Warlust. This is Vengeance War Till Death. And what a fucking album, man. I've been a fan of Bestial Warlust for, I want to say maybe 6-7 years. One of the first of like the war metal bands I ever got into, and this is really the band I recommend you to get into that sort of war metal sound with, because it's so well written. The production is extremely good for the style, but it still has enough grit to it where it sounds filthy as hell. It's just a non-stop barrage, but somehow it's a bit easier on the ears than a band like Conqueror or Revenge or even Blasphemy, and especially like Oath of the Black Blood era of Beharit. This is what I would recommend you get into this band with, or even get into war metal. It's the back cover. This is the Iron Bonehead reissue from a couple years ago. It comes with a few things. It's just on black vinyl. Comes with a sticker, a interview on the back of the lyric sheet. Interesting fact about the interview: Keith Warslet, who went on to form Destroyer 666, claims that the name of the follow-up to this album was going to be called, what was it, Unchain the Wolves, which ended up being the debut Destroyer album. And it comes with a poster. So, highly recommend you check this band out, especially this album. I would start here. They only got 2 full lengths. The Satan's Fist EP. I think they had 1 or 2 demos and a live album. Relatively short career. This was, I think, 94. And the follow-up, which is my personal favorite, Blood and Valor, is from, I think, 95 or 96. I can't remember. But this album is just primitive, barbaric, violent, destructive. Everything you want out of just a bestial, violent black metal album. So good. So fucking good, guys. I love this album so much. I have so many memories associated with this. Just a album I can listen to over and over again. Same deal as last time. Black vinyl. There was colored vinyl for each of these reissues from Iron Bonehead. I missed out on them. I don't really care. Colored vinyl's cool if I can get my hands on it, but if I can just get the black vinyl, I'll get the black vinyl. No big deal. It's about the music at the end of the day. Yeah, you get the lyric sheet. Seems weird talking about this type of music with a little banjo happening in the background, but I love this album. And it comes with this really cool poster, which I'll never use because I have a 6x4 flag of this artwork right behind my camera. So, yeah, as I said, highly recommend you get into Bastille Warlust if you haven't already. Absolutely killer stuff. And if I can get this back in the jacket without me having to stop the video, that would be really nice. But I don't think that's going to happen. Sick. Alright, take my beanie off because it is hot in here now. Since my dad woke up and turned the heat on, definitely. But we'll move on to the final Bastille Warlust record I own. Storming Bastille Legions Live 1996. I recently showed this in an update video. Gift from my girlfriend. Great live album. But what makes this so cool, this version, it sounds a lot like a bootleg. If I'm to be honest, not the best sound quality, but it's cool to hear what they sounded like live, because there's only a handful of live videos on YouTube. She managed to get me the test press, limited to 10 copies, got number 7. So, that's super cool. Thought I'd throw that out there with this. Great live album, recommend it, but definitely don't use this to get into the band. Would not recommend that at all, but Storming Bastille Legions. Only got a few records left, actually, about 4 after I show this one. Missing the first album from this band. I need the first album because that's my favorite from them, actually, but Black Breath with Sentence to Life. What a band. Mixing Swedish death metal with hardcore in the best way imaginable. Don't think deathcore, just think of pure Swedish death metal and pure old school hardcore mixed to create just a massive, dirty sound. Love these guys. This album is the best of the 2 that I own, but I'm still, how should I put it? Compared to Heavy Breathing, the debut, this album is weak, but with that said, standalone, it's a ripper. It will destroy your face. Force into Possession, Home of the Grave, Endless Corpse, Mother Abyss. So many good songs put out by Southern Lord. So heavy jacket, black vinyl, comes with a printed inner sleeve, which is always nice. I love printed inners. I much prefer them over just paper ones. But that's just me. And yeah, highly recommend you check this out. And then the other one I have, I bought it the same day because it was, I think, $10. I saw they were selling new copies at Soundgarden for $17. So I saw they had a used one for $9 and it's in just absolutely perfect condition. And I decided to pick it up that day. Actually last year. This is Slaves Beyond Death. Solid album, but they dropped a lot of the hardcore, which was kind of the draw for me. I loved the mix of hardcore and old school death metal. It's a double black LP on 45 RPM mastering. It sounds really good, like the sound quality, but just the songwriting on it is just a huge step down in my opinion. I don't really gravitate towards this one very often, but from time to time, it's not the worst, but it's far from the best material from Black Breath. If you're to get one album from, get Heavy Breathing or Sentence to Life if you can't get your hands on it. And now I need to flip my record, and I almost dropped my records. Holy dick. Woo! And just so you guys know, the reason I'm editing, not really even editing, just pausing the video constantly, is I just want to get this video up before I go to bed, if I make attempt number 2. So, here we are. Anyways, we have 3 records left. Love this one. Fuck anybody that says anything different. This is copy number 203 out of 300. Not that it matters because they keep their shit in print, and that's why they're one of the only bands I support that play this style. So full support to this band. Black Solis. One of the best bands that come out of Portugal, and in my opinion, one of the best of this like modern raw black metal movement that's happening. So good. There's no bullshit, there's no ego, there's no stupidity involved. This is just fantastic, straightforward, solid, raw black metal. Stuff your go-to-Warx shit up your ass. This just destroys it by a long shot. Fuck, man, this is... If somebody tells you, like, you're saying, like, oh, hey, I've never really listened to black metal, what should I check out? And they tell you check this out, they hate you. Just super raw, fuzzed out vocals, sound like howling wind, but I love it. Super good songwriting, actually. It's not just your... we play raw to cover the fact that we're shit musicians. It's we play raw because it fits the sound that we do. And that's the difference between these guys and the countless other trendy-ass bands that are out there, is the fact that these guys are competent songwriters. And it shows with this album. By the way, this is A Corpse, a Temple. I don't know if I showed the back, I probably did. It's black vinyl. Not that I really care. Comes with this little sheet with some lyrics on it, and I love this little disclaimer at the bottom. If you own this for anything else than black metal worship, you should fuck off. If you don't need this anymore, destroy it. And the fact that they keep their records in print and available pretty much at all times shows me that they're about what they write. So props to Black Solis, props to Iron Bonehead for keeping this amazing band in stock. If you've avoided them for some reason and you like raw black metal, you're making a huge mistake. Big disservice to yourself. Pick this up. Great album. Second to last one, and really the last one I'm going to talk about too much because I only listened to the last record once. This is Anku and the Deathfire by Black Funeral. Black Funeral, US black metal. It's been around since the early to mid 90s. This time around having Asgore from Drowning the Light helping out, and this sounds like a Drowning the Light record. Which is probably why I like it so much, because while I've always found Black Funeral to be a pretty solid band overall, like Vampire's a great album. I can't think of some of the other ones off the top of my head, but I know like the first few are pretty damn solid. They just never stuck with me, never stood out to me as anything other than just another US black metal band. It didn't really mean dick to me, but this album stands head and shoulders above the rest in my book. So good. This deals with Celtic mythology of death and the afterlife, and it's a super cool concept. It comes with lyrics, and it's nice because if you actually read along with the lyrics, you can understand what he's saying, which is very cool. I like that the vocals actually have enunciation behind them. Really like that. It goes through here a bit to explain what the songs are about and the overall mythology behind the record. Just black vinyl, not going to bother showing you. You have the lyric sheet, which is very nice to have, as I said. And it comes with a very nice A2 size poster. Love it. So if you haven't checked out Black Funeral, I know a lot of people would tell you check out Vampire, which I definitely recommend you check out. But I just love this album so much, I'm going to say give this a listen and maybe work your way backwards in their discography. I don't know. I'm not the biggest Black Funeral fan in the world, but this album, Anku and the Deathfire, really made me appreciate this band a lot more. And I want to pick up more material from them, so there's that. And the last record I'm going to be showing. I've only listened to this like once, as I said. It came in a Season of Mist vinyl grab bag. And it's good, but it's not my thing. I'll probably give it another chance soon, but Black Lodge with Machination, just industrial black metal in general, I'm not a big fan of. There's like only two bands that stand out, which is Pathos from Finland, and I love I think it's Streams of Inferno or something like that by Mysticum. The debut Mysticum album is just top-notch, 10 out of 10 album. This, it wants to be that, but it doesn't succeed. Season of Mist release, double LP on black vinyl, feels like it's 180 gram, maybe 160. Sounded good from what I heard. It's just not really my thing. I don't care for industrial black metal, and I really don't care for a lot of industrial in general. Generally speaking, there's a handful of just pure industrial bands I like Assemblage 23 and Grendel, both bands I saw live. Thanks to my buddy James, shout out to him. But yeah, I just never really saw the whole big deal with industrial black metal, but I'll probably give this another fair chance. Limited to 500 copies, I have 460. So there's that, just one more time with the artwork. If you're into industrial black metal, check out Black Lodge, but I'm sure you already know of them. Not talking about anything groundbreaking. But, yeah, that's all I got for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry if it seemed rushed or whatever. Just wanted to do a video because I've been busy as hell lately, just trying to keep myself together and keep myself busy, and just working on my new band Temple Sleeper. In fact, I'll provide a link down below to a Temple Sleeper practice video where you cannot hear my vocals, but I'm there, and you can check out my new band. But other than that, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video, which will be a collection update, or the next part of my vinyl collection, which has a shit ton of Black Sabbath. I have not decided what to do with that, so we'll see what happens, but either way, see you in the next video.